ladies and gentlemen, Wine ASMR, different setup, a little bit more casual. Well, the setup is the same, but we've left the suit aside and I'm wearing a hoodie, much more casual, and we're not gonna talk about wine in today's video, although I'll be drinking a nice glass of Merlot. So in today's video we're discussing about a very popular topic, and in my opinion the best way to spend your money. So we're talking about travel. I've personally been to many countries abroad, and I would like to discuss with you and tell you which countries are my personal favorite, and also a couple of countries that I want to travel to. I don't want to create a list like the top 10 countries I visited or the top 5 countries I want to visit, but just a plain simple conversation and share my experience with the countries that I've seen. I'm from Greece, Athens, Greece. This is the place where I grew up, but even though I've never left Greece and I haven't lived abroad for a long time, and I believe that Greece is one of the most beautiful countries when it comes to landscape, islands, although we are facing other issues, governmental issues and economy crisis, but maybe it's for another video, maybe even it's not for a video. Let's just focus on the travel now. Yeah, and even though I've never lived in another country, I've traveled a lot. I've been to over 35 maybe countries, and so my top, okay, let's do a top 10, because I don't know how else I can establish this. Top 10 with no particular order would be United States of America. And if you're from America, you're probably thinking, oh my god, come on, it's not that great here, etc. But do understand that America is very far away and very different from my country. We do not have the huge buildings that you see in the States, especially New York. In the States, personally, I've been to New York, California being San Francisco, then up to Napa Valley. I'm not sure if it's part of San Francisco. We came down because it was a road trip. We passed through this lovely place called Carmel by the beach. One of the best places I've ever been. Like a fairy tale, like a dream. And headed down to Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles we went to Las Vegas and then flew with a helicopter ride to, I think it's part of the Arizona, the place where we flew to see the Grand Canyon, Colorado River. Do correct me or tell me if it's part of Arizona State. So these are the places I've visited in New York, in United States of America, and also that was one trip altogether. And then a couple of months later I also went to New York. So it's very different in comparison to my country. It's very big. I don't know how to describe it actually. Let's just stick to the word different. Okay, let's move on because this video is gonna take forever. Number 2, again in no particular order. Let me think. Number 2, let's go with Thailand. So I believe that Thailand, Indonesia, maybe the Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, all these places, all these countries are very similar. So if you get to visit one of these, you get the general picture. Not by any means, I'm not saying that there are not things to see in the other countries or that it is exactly the same, but the experience is similar. High humidity, a lot of green. This part of Asia, I believe it to be similar. You can again state your opinion down below, especially if you're from these countries. So Thailand was a nice experience. We went there back in 2018 with my wife. Visited Krabi if you know this place, and then Phuket. There was a lot to do there. I also got food poisoning, which was very unfortunate. And number 2 will be Thailand. Number 3 will be Israel. Now I loved this country, and we went to Tel Aviv and also Jerusalem. Tel Aviv is like, for me it was like, it resembles a small United States of America. It's very organized, very clean. I loved the area by the beach, which leads down to Jaffa, which has a different character to the rest of Tel Aviv. And then Jerusalem is like a whole different experience overall. So when it's there's so many things you must see, so much history it holds, and so much religion. So number 3 is Israel. Number four, I'm going to place Dubai. I'm not sure if we're gonna reach number 10. I'm just counting favorite destinations. Anyway, number 4, Dubai. Once again, very different, and do understand that my general aim for traveling is to visit like different locations. So Dubai has nothing to do, no similarities at all with Thailand. Thailand has no similarities with Tel Aviv. With Israel you get this, so I try to, let's say, mingle with the people in these countries and see how they live, see the landscape, and I try for my travel destinations to not be similar to each other. This will actually lead, for me at least, to get a general purpose of, the whole world. And my ultimate goal is to visit as many locations as possible, obviously, but also as many different locations as possible. So yeah, Dubai. You can't drink in Dubai. Well, you can drink in some places. Very wealthy city, interesting city. A lot of sports cars, a lot of huge buildings, Burj Khalifa, Al Arab. A very nice experience. I liked it also in the desert very much. And I'll move on to number 5, which will be, I think, Europe in general. And don't get me wrong, Europe is not similar. Not every country is similar to each other. Okay, let's break it down actually. Let's start with Scandinavia. So I've been to Sweden and to Denmark. I would love to go to Iceland and also Finland and also Norway. I don't actually think there's a country that I would not want to visit. Anyway, we have Denmark and Sweden from Scandinavia. Then we can kind of Central Western Europe maybe. Anyway, let's go with Germany. Belgium, I didn't see so much of it because we were crossing to go to other countries. France is an amazing country. Monaco is very unique with the Grand Prix, the Formula One, Monte Carlo and the casino. And Germany had a nice character to it. I went to Berlin, crazy nightlife, crazy clubs also at Berlin. The food, this is a nice topic, because when you think of food, immediately you think of Italy and of Spain. Spain is mostly famous for its food at Bilbao, which I have not visited. Bilbao, that would be an amazing trip. So Bilbao, San Sebastian, and then go to France, to Bordeaux. Wine. But yeah, you think of, when you listen to travel and food, mostly I think number one destination will be Italy. And generally the Italians know how to eat, they know how to have a good time, they know how to drink, and it's one of my personal favorite countries. Please tell me where you're from, where you're watching me from, and give me some tips on your country maybe I haven't visited. So back to Italy, I have been to Naples twice. Last year was the last time I went to Naples. I have friends, crazy friends in Napoli in Italy. I've also been to Catania, Messina, Siena, Rome, Milan, and I've passed for a couple of hours by Livorno. It's a port. And where else in Italy? In general, wherever you go in Italy, I think it's beautiful. Every place has its unique design and character to it. Verona, I would also love to go, and Venice. I haven't been to Venice, which is on my bucket list. And I'll move on to the Netherlands, right? Holland, Amsterdam. Actually, let me tell you the trip in general. So, back in 2016, I flew to Budapest. Amazing and very affordable destination, especially for couples. Very romantic. Nice architecture. So Hungary, Budapest, yeah. And from Budapest I went to Berlin by train. From Berlin to Amsterdam. Crazy. And from Amsterdam to, where was it? It was to Zurich, Switzerland. Switzerland could be on my top 10 destinations. And from Switzerland I visited Zurich, Lucerne, Lucerne, and Books. I'm not sure if you know Books. It's a very beautiful lake, crazy landscape, so pure and so beautiful. And I think this is, when you listen to the word Switzerland, this is what comes in mind. And from there to Feldkirch in Austria. So that was one travel, backpacking through Europe, and then we flew back to Athens. Oh, and also Liechtenstein. We stopped by Liechtenstein to visit a couple of friends. And what else? The Balkans are nice. Romania, Serbia, Poland. I could go on and keep talking about travel destinations. I also want to mention Turkey and Istanbul. This is a huge, amazing city with a lot of history, and you can feel that something big has happened here and it carries a lot of history. I had an amazing time in Turkey. It's very close to my country. It's less than an hour, or approximately around an hour. My country is Greece, yeah. And I visited there for 3 days. I had an incredible time. We dined at Salt Bay. He's not overrated, by the way. And now for places, for destinations that I would like to go. Travel destinations. I'm gonna give a top 5 here. And I think I said in the beginning of the video that I'm not gonna mention top 5 or top 10. Anyway. So number 1 would be the Maldives. I really want to go to an exotic place, whether it's the Maldives or the Seychelles, but I think Maldives are better, even though they might be much more expensive. To go to the Maldives, first of all, it's a long polite. Second of all, I think when you land at Male, which I believe is to be the capital of Maldives, you have to rent like what's it called? It's a plane that lands in water. Anyway, it's like a water taxi, or I'm not sure what you call it, and it can transfer you over to the islands, because the whole purpose of the Maldives is to visit a nice island. If you have information about this and personal experience, I would love if you could give me some feedback. So number 1 is the Maldives, number 2 is Japan. Now Japan, I would love to go to Tokyo, obviously, Kyoto and Osaka. And I think it's a very organized and I like the Japanese culture, very polite people. We saw at the Mundial games now and every games that they respect the people around them when they were clearing out the stadiums. Anyway, I really like Japanese culture and history. Number 3 would be, where else? Number 3, Cuba, for multiple reasons. First of all, yeah, I would like to do the Havana Trinidad Vinales trip. First of all, I like cigars. Occasionally I smoke cigars. And Cuba is the number 1 cigar producing country, not by quantity, but by history. The Habanos. So, yeah, in general, Cuba is an amazing destination for me. I would love to go there and also visit Central America, the Caribbean. I haven't been to Central America, Latin America. Brazil and Argentina are the most popular destinations, although there are also other places like Bolivia with Salar de Uyuni, which is, if you don't know this place, please Google it. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. You'll understand. It's like you're on heaven, especially if it's rained at that moment and you get the effect from the salt that's underneath. It's like a mirror, a huge mirror, and with the clouds it creates an amazing effect. And also Peru, Machu Picchu, etc. Where else? So I've said 4, Latin America being 1. And last but not least, all Africa, especially Tanzania. So I would love to take a safari Tanzania in the Ngorongoro and then go to Zanzibar. I've looked into these places, so actually you can tell that I know areas and destinations. And I think one day maybe we will fulfill these 5 destinations, and I believe that if I travel to these 5 places, it'll be enough for me. I'll be very satisfied with my trips. And let me know if you have other suggestions of regions, of countries, and give me feedback. Tell me where you're from, what's worth visiting, and if it's worth visiting your country. This was a different video. Wine ASMR, we're gonna be back to our wine videos next week. I hope you enjoyed, and be safe. I'll see you soon. Cheers.